everybody. We are going to introduce our plugin called OWLAx. Uh, that's this plugin supports axiomatization through visual interface in Protege. So let's demonstrate. We'll demonstrate how to use this plugin. So let's first run Protege. Here we go. First, we make sure the plugin is installed. So let's check for plugins. Install this plugin first. It's called OWLAx, and we click install. Okay, so we need to restart Protege. So let's quit this. We run Protege again. Check for plugins, and so it's not there, but we could see from the tabs that there is a tab called OWLAx. So let's activate the plugin by clicking this. So you see this tab called OWLAx. Now this plugin allows the user, any user, to model ontologies or small ontologies or patterns in a visual interface inside Protege. Let's start with the use case. Here the use case is we start from scratch, so the ontology is currently empty, and the user interface for this plugin, here you could see on the left there is a palette where you have several shapes. So in this case the box is a class, and then there is a circle like shape for name individual, and we have a rounded box for data type, and then a double-lined box for literals. So all of them will be labeled when we put in the canvas or here in the middle. And then we have 4 different edges. One is object property, and there is this one is for data property. This one is a special edge called for RDF type, for instance typing, and then this one is a subclass relationship. So let's start with an example. Let's take one class here, and we give a name by double clicking the node. Let's call it disease, for example. And then another class, let's put it here, and let's call it dermatophytosis. This is one kind of skin disease. So we could resize the box, change the color, and a lot of other things which we could access. And the menu could be accessed through the right-clicking the node, or we could access this through the menu here on top of the plugin user interface. So we have 2 classes, and let's say we want to add a subclass relationship. So we drag this and attach the edge here and here. Right, now we have essentially a very simple ontology with 2 classes and subclass relationship in these 2 classes. At this point, we could of course choose to generate axioms, but before that it makes sense to put a fixed name for the ontology. So let me go to the active ontology tab and put a name. Let's just use this name for the moment. Let's call it this. Now let's call it example, and use this as a default prefix as well. Right. So we have this. Let's try generating axioms. We click this button, and now you see that we could have subclass axioms here. Apparently, the example is prefix is automatically generated. So for now, let's just choose this, and after choosing this, we could choose to integrate this axiom that we've chosen into the active ontology. So let's just choose this, integrate this, and then we have the changes integrated to Protege. We could check this. If we go to entities, we'll see disease and dermatophytosis. So so this is a subclass of disease, and then you see also here the RDF XML rendering of the ontology. You see that here dermatophytosis is subclass of disease. Right. So we have this. Now, let's continue with the modeling. Let's say we have another class. Let's call it here, put it here, and call it person. And let's add an object property connecting the person to disease. And we can use grid here to help us. Yep. And then right, and then put a name on that object property by double clicking the edge, and let's call it has disease. Right. Now we have 3 classes with an object property. What happened now if we generate axioms? So we generate axioms. So we now see that that we could choose which axioms, more axioms here. For example, disjointness between these classes. We could choose to assert this or not, or integrating this axiom into the active ontology. Put the subclass axiom again. And then for domain and range, we have, because we only have one object property, you see let's just enlarge this. So you see this axiom is a guarded or scope domain restriction for has disease property, whereas this one is the unscoped version. So essentially equivalent to statement that has disease has domain person. So we're choosing the guarded version. Similarly for the range, this one is the unscoped version or unguarded version, and in this case we chose the guarded version. So we have this. Other than this, we could have other alternative axioms. For example, maybe we want to say that every person has at least one disease, which is probably not correct, but this is one possible axiom that we could assert. But in this case, we chose not to assert this axiom. Other axioms involve cardinality, or in this case, actually functionality. But none of these axioms will be asserted for now. So let's just integrate this. So this integration of axiom would add the axiom into the active ontology, but will not remove the existing axioms. So if we want to remove the existing axiom, we just call this or access this command, remove existing axiom. So hold on, let us see. So now we see that we have these classes and also this axiom, for example, or that person, the range of has disease is this axiom expressed in this axiom. Now if we go back to OWLAx, we could um, remove existing axiom, so we clear them. So we look now, no axiom is here, and then we could regenerate the axiom again. Another feature of this plugin is that it allows us to save the figure into into XML annotated PNG. So we could save this. Choose where we want to save. Let's just assume it's here. No, let's put it somewhere. Users maybe, and then I have a folder in desktop. Let's put it here. Let's call it example PNG. Now, if we could also print the picture as well, but let's which of course if you have PDF printer, then you could print this into a PDF. Let's just reset this and open the PNG. It should be here. Users desktop and memo, and this is the PNG. So here it is. So now you see that we could continue working on this class diagram, so to say. Now let's add more entities. Let's say a person has a name, so the name is a data type string. So let me put here change the data type with, I guess, the string, and then we could now we add data property. Note that if we try to add, for example, object property, you cannot attach this to a data type. See? So it's not working. So let's delete this by clicking this or the delete button. So now let's add data property here to here and give a name to the data property. Let's call it as name. We have this, and then this small ontology again. For this small ontology, we could generate axioms. Now we have more axioms, so this is the old ones. But for example, we have now this axiom domain, scope domain for hasName, the property hasName. Also for the scope range. So let's add domain range for hasDisease and hasName. This is. I also want to say that every person has a name, and then also that that is on for every person it has at most one name, so we could use this. So if we integrate this, we would have the axioms. Oh, we forgot one thing. In the next version, we want to make sure that the existing axiom is displayed as with a check mark here in the list, but that would be part of the next step of the development. So let's just put it here. and here, and this one, and I believe this one, and then we want to say that they are disjoint and subclass. So again, we integrate this. Uh, so we have this, see the subclass of relationship, and then also for person you see so these axioms, right? Okay, let's see. Let's check this. Uh, the rendering, the artifacts and rendering. Um, see for example here is the hasmin. Now, of course, other than data type and classes, one could add a literal, also name individual, which one could play around here. Um, and again, the generate axiom command allows us to uh, to generate axioms. And this plugin will help us to speed up the creation of some of the axioms in some of the uh, uh, modeling process. For example, usually when we do modeling, uh, we use graphical or uh, visual tools, for example, whiteboard or flip charts. But in this case, we instead could use this plugin and model the class diagram visually inside Protege, and then automated and then generate axioms in a easier way. Uh, I think that's all for the demo for this OWLAx plugin. We will continue development of this plugin to cover more axioms and improve the user interface. As you could see that we have a lot of different options for the user interface. Um, thank you for your attention and goodbye.